We have to move. Not real happy about it. Things have just gotten a little out of hand. So apparently the police showed up. It's kind of crazy. You know, this is just kind of a little bit of the bad and ugly. You know, we're all adults here, right? Hey guys, I wish I was making this video under better circumstances. We said that we would share the good, the bad, and the ugly when we started the Salty Trips channel about RV life, full-time living, and trucks, travel, towing, all that mess and adventures. But we finally run into a situation. We have to move. Not real happy about it, but we'll take you guys along for the ride, so stick around and check it out. All right, guys, so here's the deal. We have to move. And it's just, you know, it's not that we don't like this RV park. We love the RV park. We love this spot. We got some, you know, nice little wooded area behind us, which is, you know, and plenty of shade up here. But things have just gotten a little out of hand. At one point, cops got involved. There's been several incidences, and we'll go into more detail about that later. But first, you know, I got to pack all this stuff up. Kim went to work today. It kind of stinks because it would have been nice if we could have moved yesterday, because she was here for most of the day and we could have got it moved and I could have got some help. But today it's just going to be me, so I got to clean up all the hoses. I got to pick up all our fence and everything out here and roll everything up and get it ready. But I have a dentist appointment today. I'm going to get this all set up, go to my dentist appointment, then we're going to come back here. We're going to get loaded up, set up, and we're going to move. And then we're going to tell you all about the situation. It's kind of crazy. So if you have any crazy RV stories, you know, put them down in the comment section below and we'll get going. We'll get this stuff cleaned up and get ready, move, and get to it. One thing that bothers me about this RV model is how low this hangs down. It'd be nice to put a valve on here, but then it hangs down even lower. So it makes your clearance hard if you go over little humps or something. I'm afraid to get it ripped off. But I may eventually cut that back a little farther and add a valve, because I don't like having a, you know, as you probably already know, that like if your tank leaks while you're on the move and you got something in it, it works its way down there. And then when you open up that cap, it makes a mess. Well guys, we got it all cleaned up and we like to travel light. So, you know, we are full-timing, but we don't keep a lot of stuff out here because that's just more you got to move when you got to move. Got this wrapped up. So when I get back from the dentist, all we'll have to do basically is unplug power and then hitch up and get going. All right guys, so I got a few minutes before I have to go in here and get this taken care of. So we'll go into a little bit of detail about what's kind of going on. Give you a little backstory. We moved into this spot over here that we're moving away from a while back. We had a neighbor that I guess every once in a while, it was a couple or something that would get into a little tiff or whatever and get a little loud. And I guess one time they got so loud and they were fussing or whatever that somebody felt like they needed to call the police. So apparently the police showed up. It kept Kim up half the night. You know, they were out there dealing with that mess. I'm not going to go into the details of the situation because, you know, that's their privacy, whatever. Anyway, they, you know, resolve the situation or whatever. But, and the funny thing is, like, I had no idea any of this happened. I found out about that once a neighbor came by and said, "Hey, I heard you had some commotion going on over here." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, the cops showed up. Apparently I slept through it all." So I guess I'm a pretty hard sleeper. Anyway, eventually those people left. We didn't have any neighbor on that side for a while, but then eventually a new neighbor moved in, and it's making us miss the old neighbor. It's gotten that bad. I'm sure everybody has their little horror stories about RV life and stuff, and we're not here to just, you know, complain and stuff like that. We're just sharing our experiences so that you guys know that, you know, this stuff can happen and sometimes you got to deal with it. I got to get in here and get this taken care of, and then we're going to get back to the RV and move, and then we'll finish this little story. All right, guys, so we're back, and I got the rascals put away in the truck. So basically we just got to wrap up the power cord, pull in the slides. And if you guys have been following along, you know we got rid of our 12-volt batteries, and we have a 24-volt system here with dual inverters and all that jazz. But a lot of you were wondering about the 24 volt to 12 volt Orion converters, if it's going to be enough power to power these slides and these jacks. We're about to find out. Okay, so we're back in here and I got the power disconnected and we're just running off of our Victron inverter system right now. We have this like faux laminate flooring we put down here. I'm gonna see if it will roll over top of it. It's because we just put that on top to hide the carpet and hopefully it doesn't crunch it up. So we're gonna see if that'll work real quick. It's rolling a little bit on there. It did roll it up a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. Looks good. Uh-oh. Forgot to empty these. Kim gave me a little checklist here. Make sure I go over that real quick before I button the rest of this up. Alright, I just double checked the checklist, so it looks like we're good. And we'll pull in this slide. And this is the one that we had to repair on, where I had to replace the gear pack. So hopefully we won't have any issues with that. Oh man. Sounds good, looking good. Perfect. Everything looks good in here, nice and tight. Uh-oh. I'll put these in the sink. So we know the Orion 24 volt to 12 volt converter is enough power to pull the slides in, but let's see how it does on the jacks. All right, now we just gotta pick up the front end and all right, guys, so we got her out. I got my hands full, so we'll pick this up at the next place. All right, guys, here at the new spot, we'll have to get things unbuttoned, get the dogs back inside. Right now, we're just running off of our batteries and solar right now. This spot is metered, so we're paying month to month, and we have to pay electricity on top of that. But because of the system we have, I'm going to show you how we're going to minimize that bill. All right, so everything's getting powered to it just fine, but for some reason, the auto leveling system is messing up. So I'm just gonna have to old school it. So let's get this thing leveled out so I can get those critters back in the RV. All right, we had to level that manually, but it's what it is. Now we gotta get things back out. I just hooked up the power and we have a 50 amp RV, but I put the 30 amp adapter on it because I want to reduce the amount of power we're getting in here, and there's a specific reason for that. We have solar and inverter system that, because we're having to pay for power here now, I only want to limit it to a certain amount so that solar and everything will supplement the excess power that we need, and so it'll keep our bills down and hopefully pay for itself. We'll see how that goes. So if you want to interested in seeing that kind of mess, and if you're interested in that kind of solar, or, inverter power and batteries and lithium and all that jazz, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, because we'll do more tests on our solar system and how this works out, supplementing power. All right, time to let these rascals out. Come on, monkeys. Come on. Let's see if they like it. Oh, man. You like it? All right, guys, I got everything put together and sorted. So now it's time to, let's talk about why do we have to move. All right, guys, so after our old neighbor left, we had a new one move in, and things were okay for a little while. But then, you know that at most like RV parks and stuff, they have like quiet hours, time when you're not supposed to be outside making noise. And, at that particular place, it was 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning or something like that. Kim still works regular hours and she gets up early for work, and our neighbor was out till like, I don't know, it was like 11:30, and Kim woke me up. He's like, "You hear that?" I'm like, "Oh God, I could sleep through anything," but I felt I had to go say something. So I went outside. I was like, "Excuse me, it's past quiet hours, so this is an RV park, And he's like, "Yeah, okay, I understand." Um, I thought, okay, well, it's done. It's settled. They stayed out another 30, 45 minutes after that. They finally shut it off. A little later, they were out till like 2 o'clock in the morning with a fire and chapping it up and, making all kinds of noise. And that was kind of a straw that, so we went and told the office and everything, because I already went in person and said something once. I'm like, I shouldn't have to repeat myself. We're all adults here, right? I guess the office talked to the neighbor, and then, lo and behold, not too long after that, it's the same thing. They're just, up late, loud music, louder than, like, it should be. Like, your music shouldn't drown out my air conditioning and TV, but it was loud enough to drown out our air conditioning and TV, and it was late into the evening. He kept it under the quiet time hours, but he was just way loud. The other neighbors came up and said something to me too, but and so I mentioned it to the office or whatever, and then of course it happened again, and they went and talked to him in person one day when, well, it just happened to be like where the office was open, and so he turned it down. The worker left, and then I don't know, about 30 minutes after he left, he just turned it right back up. That was the last straw. We were like, we can't do this no more. We're just going to move. They give a lot of leeway to, let people correct their mistakes, which I understand and completely on board with. But like, we're in an RV park, RV walls are thin, and you just, everybody just respects one another. We've had no issues with others before, except for this one neighbor. And he just seemed to not care about anybody else but himself. It just, I don't know. So we decided we were just going to take matters into our own hands and just move. So we found this nice big spot, but we do have to pay for electricity here. We have our, solar system and our inverter system that's supplementing power, so we're not having to pay as much power. And if you're interested like that and stuff, subscribe, follow along, because we'll go into other details, videos about that in the future. But I felt, we always say we're going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, this is just kind of a little bit of the bad and ugly. Not every neighbor is going to be nice and kind and considerate. But like, so far, everybody has been like super. Like, one time Kim got locked out, and we had a neighbor, it was in the middle of summer, stayed with her and one of the Frenchies outside for almost like 3 hours while they're waiting for somebody to come. Finally got an RV tech to come open the door. Super great neighbor. I'm just sharing our experiences, and this is one of our experiences. So, like, if you want to follow all of our adventures, full-time RV living, trucks, travel, towing, inverters, lithium, solar, all that mess, subscribe, notification bell, all that fancy jazz. Give this video a big thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it, and because we appreciate you guys. And we'll see you guys next week.